Hello, everybody. Hold on, I had the volume turned up for ESO. Welcome to Space Engineers. Marcus, welcome. I'm glad you got the hat. Hope you get to keep it for a while. Engineered Coffee, welcome. Good to see you all. It's, you may have heard, I hit 1,000 subscribers. And for the moment, they haven't yet unsubscribed. So officially, as of this stream, it's still 1,000. You know how it kind of fluctuates? I was kind of expecting it to drop down briefly, but so far, it actually went up to 1,001. Then came back down to 1,000, went back up to 1,001. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. We might dip back into the 900s at some point, but either way, we're here with the Stellar Garage. So since I didn't have much time to plan for this, I didn't think it was going to happen so quickly. I went ahead and took a cue from something that Ire had done not too long ago, and I thought I will take my original ship, the very first ship that I actually built in this game that I was kind of proud of, you know, that wasn't just a brick, and we'll redesign it. It's kind of you know, it's pretty old, and I haven't spawned it in yet, but we're gonna take a look. I thought I might actually give a quick tour of the battlefield over here. This is, if you recall, in the very first series of Stellar Garage, I was working on. I think I was actually way over here. We were redesigning the Go-Getter, and so we had all these different versions and everything sitting around. Aberdoli, I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. What is this thing? Oh, that's right. I tried to make this cool looking thing. It didn't work out too good. It looks like a submarine. Yeah. I guess it turned out okay. It didn't fly very well. That was the problem. Anyway, I never showed anybody this because I didn't do this part on stream. But when I put the ship on the workshop, I had to figure out all the different possible combinations of everything so I could take screenshots. So this is every possible combination of Go-Getter and multi-tool, and then this is the stage where I took all the screenshots. So just bring it in here, put it down right exactly in the middle. There's a camera up on the wall, and I would just go. I can't figure out how to get out of here. I would just go over here, sit in the chair, hit the camera, take the screenshot, get out, go to the next thing. It was a fun time. Hey, Timmy Dean, welcome. Things have happened while you've been gone. So yeah, anyway, this is my studio for screenshots. I kind of like it. And then you got, I don't remember. Oh, that thing there, that's actually pretty cool. That's a fun little trick. That was because there's a camera in the back as well for taking pictures of the back, and I didn't want you to be able to see the camera at the front. So it actually, from that point of view, it blocks it completely. I think it's pretty clever in my opinion. But anyway, we're going to do something very different today. Where are we going to do it? We're going to do it over in this corner of the lake, I think. So, there's two versions of this. So there's the Jazzy Jeff. This is the original. We're not actually going to redo this one. We're going to redo the Mark II and make a Mark III. So this was the original. Now, I want you to realize the context here. I came to Space Engineers after a long stint of playing Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous was my jam for like a good year and a half. I don't know. And I liked that you could go, like a lot of the ships, especially like the Asp Explorer, had like a cockpit area, and you can't walk around on any of these ships or anything, you know, in Elite Dangerous, but you could see from looking around when you're in the cockpit that it has like a nice big cockpit area with like a nice view and everything, and then there's always a door behind it, presumably so that you could walk into the rest of the ship. Now, at the same time, I was also under the assumption that Star Citizen would eventually be a game, and I liked the idea that you could get up, you know, in Star Citizen, you could get up and walk around through your ship and everything like that. And so I wanted to build a relatively small, like imagine you're traveling the galaxy in this thing, right? You want to be able to, you know, do exploration, see what you're looking at here. So there's like this front cockpit area, and then the inside is just like living one big living quarter. It's not great. But as you can see, it has all the different types of, yeah. Oh, I know, Marcus. It has all the different types of thrusters. One gigantic hydrogen thruster, which I believe I learned the hard way, burns hydrogen faster than I was able to. The amount of hydrogen this thing could hold burns through it rather quickly. And then if you're trying to fly straight up, you end up coming right back down. So, that was also how I learned that the speedometer is not directional. So, 100 meters per second toward the planet or away from the planet. So here I am going like, man, I'm flying 100 meters per second. This is awesome. Why does it look like the ground is getting closer, though? That's how I learned I needed more hydrogen. So anyway, it's designed to, of course, be very atmospheric. It's got giant atmospheric thrusters. And I want to say that these two on the end here were clamped on unceremoniously because I needed more thrust on slightly higher gravity planets. And yeah, and I think that one was crammed in there too and everything. Let's go inside, because I don't remember what mods I had on this one. But obviously there's an airlock, and obviously I hadn't yet figured out how lighting works. So to me, this just screams like classic, inexperienced space engineers designer. There's just like ductwork everywhere, but at the same time, there's a bit of a charm to it, in my opinion, because I didn't know how to hide. I didn't know, like, we didn't have, armored conveyors or anything like that, so I didn't know how to hide conveyors in the ground or anything like that. I guess these reactors I just put stuff in them directly, I assume. A lot of this. I was probably playing in creative at the time and just spawned a ton of stuff into it. But, yeah, so there's probably very little DLC. I think I made this before I bought all of the DLC. So I think these clear things are DLC, the clear LCDs, but I would be surprised if there's more DLC in here than this. Well, this is a DLC. The old toilet. So I know that. This is DLC also, I believe. So, decorative pack 1, I think. So, what is, or is it style? That's decorative pack 1. I don't remember what pack that's in, but. So anyway, I wanted a lot of cargo, and I didn't feel like putting in room, like the big, oh yeah, I hope when I took the blueprint, it didn't blueprint what's in the toilet. That would suck. Okay, nothing in there. I don't know why I have some wheat or some grain in my inventory here. We're in creative mode, so. Anyway, yeah, so here's the cockpit. It's a nice, when you're sitting here, it's a pretty nice view. Right? You could see every direction. That's what I wanted, is a really nice view in, like, the cockpit area. All right, so. And then close this. I don't think so there's some things missing that you may notice, which is there's no bed, there's no cryo chamber. So everything back here is basically like just, here. There's oxygen, there's a big hydrogen tank, which I apparently did not fill all the way. So, yeah. So anyway, so this is the Jazzy Jeff Mark 1. So I'm going to paste in the Jazzy Jeff Mark 2, because I already did this exercise once, way back in the day. Maybe like a year or two after I was playing Space Engineers, I went back to this ship and redid it again. To the Mark II here. Now the Mark II has some modded blocks. And you can see, I've already gotten a little bit better at this game by this point. Bit of a bigger, I widened that up, took note of where I had to bolt in additional thrusters. We added 2 big thrusters instead of 1. I feel like I was doing quite a bit better here. I put in some extra small thrusters. You know, still not... I don't know. I actually don't know how much DLC is in here. We're going to have to go look. But I was doing better with, like, you know, color. Obviously, that one's all a singular dark color. Doing better with color here, you know. Doing better with kind of breaking up the shape of it. I always disliked how much this stuck out, though, from there. So anyway, let's talk about the mods that are not in this world that are being used. So I actually went to the world. I went all the way back and loaded up the world where I built this the first time, or at least used it in survival. And I was honestly surprised it loaded. And you can see I have cameras here. The cameras were so that I could dock to a station that had a walkway and then a connector, and I could like look through these two cameras and alternate between them to see how close I was to docking, which is pretty smart on my part. But originally I just had, like with the Jazzy Jeff 1, I had just two back-to-back doors. The outer door I replaced with that rotating airlock door. You know, it's like, I don't remember whose mod that was, but the single door that was an airlock, and it was like a cylinder and it would rotate around. And I put that on the outside. And then for some reason, I didn't want to redo the inside, so I just left a second door there. So it was like, yeah, a little bit of an extra. I don't know. And I think I usually just left it open, and then I would just walk through into the airlock. So there was that. Now I think I did a really good job of cleaning up the inside. You can see it's brighter in here. I figured that out a little bit, or at least I put more lights in. A lot fewer ductwork. I put one of these things in. There's no longer the same door as before. There's this door now, and we have a much larger and roomier cockpit, although you can still fall off the side. Now, honestly, I don't really like the much larger... I really don't like the much larger... I'm not going to say really don't like. I don't as much like the much larger cockpit, although I do like that I had figured out how to do, like, automatic LCDs by the time I got to this. So at least there's that. I like the cozy feel of the previous cockpit area. So I'm going to try and make the cockpit area a little bit cozier. We do have new blocks that we can use to make that work. So this up here was the mod that gave you the full-size vent block. This, you know, like this block, the air vent full. This was not in the game at the time. This was added... It's not a DLC. I think it was added in, what is this, Automatons? I forget. I think that's when it was added. They added it because we only had this one. And there was a mod that gave you this one. And so that's what was up here. And then I think the only other mod was the energy shields mod. There was like an energy shields generator sitting behind here. And I think another one sitting behind here. Excuse me. But I think other than that, I don't think there was any other... Wow, I've just got a lot of lights in here, huh? I don't think there was any other modded blocks in here. So I did realize that I needed a, you know, cryo chamber. I do have a nice little spot for it. I also got smart and put most of my conveyors underneath the... No, I don't have tools. Most of my conveyors are now underneath the floor here, which is nice. Of course, I can't do that here because that's where the med bay has to be. Or med room, I guess. But, yeah, I got a little bit... There's that thing that shows... This is the old version of that script. I don't remember what that's called. What was the script called? Floor plan script. Sure. So we got that. And I think they... Hey, Toshiro. Welcome. So I think this was like the older version of the script that shows the layout of the ship. There's like a newer one from... I forgot who. What is this one? LCDs? That's got to be automatic LCDs. We got some reactors. Oh, and I was smart enough to put solar panels on this time too. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. But there's still room for improvement. Like, we don't need to necessarily put everything in the ground and then cover it with these kinds of things. You know, we could probably use the armored conveyors. I don't need this thing in here. This thing, I think, was fairly newly added at the time that I did this redesign. And I don't think we need that. Just kind of, it was a fun thing to have. We could do, I'm probably going to get rid of most of these, like, status screens. As much as it's nice to, like, look at them, I was rarely ever just kind of sitting back here and being like, is gravity on? Or what's the output of the everything? Like, usually I'm just like, batteries, they're about full, you know? So. Yeah, nobody forget to say hello to Marcus. Anyway, it's good to have you all here. Connector on, off. Oh, I kind of like that. I haven't used automatic LCDs in a long time. I've forgotten how it works. So, we're going to redesign this. I'm thinking we're going to do it from scratch. I don't think we're going to mess with the actual... Oh, I put blinky lights on it. I didn't even realize. There's a green one. Did I put a red one on this side or no? Yeah, I did. Is that correct? I don't even know. Yeah, so I guess... Did I put a conveyor? Okay, there's a conveyor on the bottom, too. Ooh, I wonder what was there. Oh, that was probably another vent. And then these gigantic landing gear feet. We'll probably use the newer landing gear feet or the mag plates. I kind of like the... Honestly, I think there's a charm to it having feet that are just kind of like always there. Hey, Ire. Thank you very much. That one didn't even lock. Yeah, I kind of like the charm of it just always having feet. But maybe not such big feet, you know. Timmy, if you want to be the official greeter of the channel, you can. Oh, there was one other thing. I had modded weapons. So this was a turret sitting on top. It was kind of like a low profile, just a Gatling of some sort, some modded Gatling from the before times, before Weapon Core. I think it was basically just a reskinned regular Gatling. So that looks like a parachute. I bet you that didn't do anything. So I want to keep the solar panel idea. I don't necessarily think they need to be wings, but we'll keep the parachute. Parachute. Maybe we should fire it up and actually see if it flies. Let's see if it flies. Hey, Game Dork. Welcome. Okay. Let's see. So, those are on. We don't need those on. I think these are only for forward thrust. Let's leave them off for now. Batteries are on auto. Okay, we got spotlights. Parachutes are ready. All the interior lights are on. Oh. Okay, here we go. And unlocked. Unlock. No, they locked again. 5 is automatic lock on off. Yeah, we seem to be not flying. Are we a convert to ship? Oh, and there we crashed. We still don't seem to be flying. Oh, the thrusters were off. There we go. Alright, I didn't put any upward-facing thrusters. I should probably do that for the very low-gravity planets. Kind of found that out the hard way on Titan. That if you don't have upwards atmospheric thrusters and you do this, you will kind of just float off into space. So, oh, that sucks, Game Dork. Well, hang out for as long as you would like, and there's no hard feelings if you have to leave. So, all right. So this is definitely kind of slow to accelerate. We're definitely slow to. Bet you this accelerates a lot faster now if we do that. And we turn pretty good. So I kind of want to definitely keep the hybrid aspect to it. I'm thinking maybe we should go a little bit harder into the hydrogen for support, but I still want to be able to then go to, when we're in space, I want to just turn on ions and just be able, like, even if it's just slow acceleration, deceleration, just to not have to rely entirely on hydrogen. But it would be nice to have a little bit of hydrogen for whatever. Well, mostly for going up to and from space, but also to augment either the ions or the atmospheric. So we do have significantly more. Power is actually pretty good when we're doing this. So things we didn't have before. I've got 2 new kinds of ion thrusters now, 2 new kinds of hydrogen thrusters, and 1 new reskin of the atmospherics plus the flatmos. So we have a lot more thruster options in terms of what's available for just like the aesthetics of it. The flatmos, definitely, I think we're going to want to add a good amount of those. In fact, we might replace these gigantic side ones with gigantic flatmos, so I think they'll fit in a bit better. And then I also want to make it kind of survival ready. So, and by survival, I mean the new survival with food. So, hey, Rev, it is the famous YouTube Duke Skyloafer with 1,000 subs. I'm in the big leagues, the big shot. It's all going to my head already. I can feel it. I'm very arrogant now. No, I'm kidding. I'm extremely humbled by the fact that this happened. I did not ever expect this. So, I'm not going to let it distract me though. And the mightiest Kaz is here too. Excellent. Okay, good. Streamlabs is here. That's good. I'm glad we got that sorted out. I've completely lost my train of thought. So anyway, I want to have algae, at least 1 algae farm on it, and a food processor. So make sure we have that. We could switch the med bay to let's head back to the ground here. There we go, and lock it down. Shut all that off. All right, so now we're crooked somehow. I'm going to make us not crooked. It's going to bother me. There we go. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay. So, what was I just saying? I was saying I think we could, if we wanted to, replace the med bay with a survival kit. That's probably going to be easier to fit stuff in. I only have 1 shoe on? That happens. Oh well. I do want to use maybe some of the new DLC blocks for like O2 gens, and we have different sized tanks and cool new reactors and stuff like that. So yeah. So let's just kind of think this through a little bit here. Yeah, I also hate that YouTube doesn't default to live chat. It's annoying. Okay, we got that down there. Okay, so I'm just kind of taking stock of everything here. So I think one thing that we could do is I do want the cockpit to be a little bit smaller, and better shaped. I've gotten a little bit better at shaping glass since I built this, so we're going to shape that a little bit better. We might use some of those new bridge blocks, you know, the bridge window blocks. We'll see. I think I want to make the ship itself wider by maybe a block or so. Like, it can be kind of shorter and wider. Maybe not shorter, depending, but yeah, we're definitely going to use, in fact, I'm almost certainly not going to use any of the vanilla thrusters. Any of, you know, so they're all, I'm not going to use any mods on this build. It's all going to be vanilla plus DLC. But yeah, I'm probably going to use only DLC thrusters, to be honest. I think we're going to get rid of the parachutes. Those did not save me in the past when I needed them. I think I do want to add some weaponry. Originally, it just had the one turret on the top, which was mainly for shooting spiders, I want to say, but which was not great if they got under the ship. So it might be better to have turrets on the side, on the wings, you know, something like that. The only reason, and there's 4 of them, the only reason I added the parachutes is because this one, don't believe, had any parachutes, and it crashed into the planet. I'm actually not sure that these parachutes have ever been used. Maybe they're not set up correctly, I don't know, but they're there because that one crashed once. They probably would hold this. I don't know what the bridge of the spaceship Yamato looks like.
Hello there.
Thank you, Rev, for resubscribing. Appreciate that. Re-upping your membership, I should say. Enjoy your bedtime, EC. Let me know if you want me to read your kid's bedtime story. Okay, so.
Hello there.
Marcus, re-upping the membership as well. Thank you very much. 5 months, wow.
Do it.
There we go. I was waiting for that to kick in. I saw it in the chat, and I was like, when is it going to do it? Yeah, let's look at... How do I want to set this up? Should we just do like a... I'm thinking we'll just do like a block in the ground. What's my... Oh, look at these colors. What am I going to make this? I don't want to do it all in white, because then it... Well, I kind of want to do it in sci-fi, because I love the sci-fi. But I also want to do some in weldless, maybe. Maybe some in carbon fiber, too. Sorry. All right, everything's going to be in... Actually, that's not a bad color. Let's do that. We'll just go up a little bit, and then we'll just build off of there. So let's give ourselves a little bit of a spine to start with. How long is this ship? Let's see. The ship is 27 blocks long. That didn't sound good. Now, I am actually wondering if maybe it would make more sense to actually start with this ship and tear it apart. Nah, I don't think so. I think we're going to start. I think we're going to start fresh. Although, that is how I built this one. I took that one and tore it apart and then upgraded it to this. Maybe we should just do that. Why don't we do that? Let's grab, like... Hang on, I'm going to try and do something silly here. Let's grab, like, that. I don't know if I could do this. don't know if I could do this without being in the ship. Trying to connect it to there, but I'm in it. Can I can't, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Let's actually not build in the... Let's not build in the... In that, in this. Let's make it... Let's actually do the... Let's do the weldless and see. For some reason there's something about weldless, but we're going to make the whole thing this so that it becomes just a solid chunk. Get some lights on here. All right. So there we go. So now it's like prototype blue. Let's, for now... Yeah, no, that makes sense. That does make sense, and especially since I've turned off the armor edges. Because I don't like this. Let's set up... No. No. What's the... Oh, shoot. What did I remap this to? Isn't it... No, it's not. Yeah, it is that. What is that? There we go. That's what I remapped it to. Okay. There we go. We'll set ourselves a... Are we still... We're not still mapping, right? There we go. Okay. All right, so now we got that. So I think what I want to do is... let's actually go inside here. I'm going to turn the... I've remapped a lot of my keybinds to match Space Engineers 2. So, alright, so one of the things I want to do first is just get rid of all of these things, because that's where our... This is where I've hidden all of the stuff. Get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of you. Yeah, let's just get rid of all that. Get rid of both of those. Keep all this in the back for now. Just want to take stock of what we've got here. So, get rid of that. I don't know. What are these buttons doing? Batteries, gravity, shields, which we don't even have, reactors. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Probably get rid of all these lights later. Oh yeah, the few decorative things we had at the time. Get rid of those. All right, I think I'm basically going to slice off the majority of this front piece here. What was I doing? There we go. Lost my train of thought for a second. So as I was saying originally, this spot right here was originally a modded... This thing. It was originally a modded full block vent. And now we have a vanilla full block vent. So I'm gonna use the DLC full block vent because it looks cooler. And instead of this door and that hallway. Oh, we should get rid of... Oh, yeah. The arch of cargo. Yeah, I really like a lot of these conveyor junctions should have really just been more cargo, to be honest. If I was going to go to all the trouble of making conveyor junctions. And I think most of these junctions are only here because they were holding the floor up. I think. Or maybe I was just bad at that. Who knows? Who could say? Why is everything... Are the gyros turned off or are they out of power? They're on. This reactor is off, but the batteries are on auto. Why are you red? Oh, that's weird. No. Okay. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Let's get rid of these chairs. That's only Those chairs were aspirational in case I ever had friends. So, all right, so we'll probably redo. Oh yeah, look at the. Oh, we only have these floor blocks. We'll do different floor blocks. Now, the ship is. It is as thick as it is because I wanted to put this, under the floor and then still have room, like a layer underneath it. Oh, we could make this look so much better under here. We can make that look so much better. I think it looked better when it had the blue on it as well, but okay. Let's not focus back here. Let's focus on this bridge area because I want the bridge. I think the rest of the ship has to kind of match the bridge. So I'm going to poke a hole to get out of here. Are these on the outside? Those are on the nope, those are windows on the backs of screens. All right, yeah, let's get rid of this whole front. Now, I think I'm going to end up keeping a lot of the thruster placements. Oh, you know what? Let's turn on the mirroring. Okay. So, yes, let's get rid of you. Oh, the primary purpose of this ship. Yeah, let me talk again about what we're doing here. I'll be quick about it. So, this ship over here was the first ship that I ever built, and it was designed to somewhat evoke my experience with Elite Dangerous exploration ships. This ship is the Mark II version of that I made like a year or so later by just kind of upgrading it, making it bigger, whatever. The purpose of the ship was just exploration. It was designed to be like, what if I had a small ship? Like, let's say, I'm me. I scraped together, a couple, like 100,000 space credits, whatever. Probably be more than that for a ship this big, but, I scraped together some money and I'm just going to buy a small ship and go see the galaxy with it. That's basically what this was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that idea of like, I'm going to go from planet to planet. I'm going to land and do stuff on the planets and then, whatever. It's kind of like, like the Titan in my other series was like it's a interplanetary ship. It's much larger than this because it has all of the production blocks in it and it has like a big garage in the back and everything. This is supposed to be more like you need to go places and stock up kind of thing. Like this would actually be a pretty cool ship to have in like a economy playthrough, to be honest, because it can't do in fact, this doesn't even have a survival kit. Like it can't actually do anything on its own. So that might be a good reason for me to add a survival kit to it, and maybe even just like a basic assembler and a basic refinery or something like that, if I have room. I don't want to have full production capabilities. I don't want it to be a fully self-sustained ship. That's the main thing. So, question of which I should know the answer. But anyways, does a large gyro have more power or momentum than a small gyro, like as far as the game is concerned? I assume so, because you can't. I mean, I will tell you right now. I believe this thing will tell us. Whoop, 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 there we go. So, torque, 33.6 meganewton meters. And then, do we not have the, there we go. 448 kilonewton meters, I assume is what that unit is. So, yes. Significantly more for a large grid. Significantly more for a large grid gyro. All right. I want to get rid of smuggling compartment would be awesome. Let's get rid of just all of this. I'm actually going to keep that structure there for now, just because I may use that for inspiration later. But I just wanted to make some room to be able to do something better here. So I think what I want is something more along the lines of like this, but I guess it should probably blend better into here. So we could maybe do something to extend this out into this platform. Let's get some... I messed up my main thing here. What you're there, and I don't remember what you're supposed to be, so we're gonna take you out. Well, I've got tank tracks in. Oh, that'd be cool if this thing had tank tracks. All right, let's get rid of all this there. We'll probably actually, so I don't forget, we'll probably put some floor blocks in at some point. Floodlights would be nice. Does this bridge window have like a base group? I wish there was an easier way to see that. There it is. Wish there was an easier way to see, like, looking at something that's not in a group and knowing what its parent group is without having to go and find the group that it's in. So we had that. We also have all these other ones. I assume that's this. There we go. Okay. What if we did... What if we did... Hold on. You guys got me thinking with the smuggling compartment here. Like, we've got, technically... you know, like, the floor is it's 2 blocks deep. So, like, but it could be even deeper at points if we needed it to. Like, it could swoop down or something like that. We could do... How cool would it be to have a little small grid door on a rotor that just rotated up, and it was just maybe like that. How tall is a space engineer? They're shorter than a block, right? So yeah. And we could have the rotor on the side and just like a small grid plate or something like that, and then just near. That would be very cool. I think we are going to try to find a spot for that. I think that would be 1, doable. 2, very cool. In fact, it could even be bigger than a single block. It could be bigger. Yeah. Anyway. Well, you know what we could do, actually. Hold on. What are those new cargo... there's like these things. One of these has like a small grid thing, right? So like we could even on top of the like small grid door, we could have some of these things just like sitting on top of it, so it looks like there's cargo on the floor. And then, like, the whole thing would lift up as a single piece and then come back down. Yeah. Goodbye. I like that idea, though. We'll come back to that. Cockpit first. Don't let me get distracted. The cockpit sets the tone for the whole thing. So. What do I want So I definitely want... I want it to flow into the shape of the ship more instead of just feeling like it's bolted onto the front, because that's kind of my problem with I think this one did it a little bit better, but this one, the original one, I should move this closer so I don't have to keep flying over here. Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so yeah, this one, actually that one is surprisingly more integrated because of just the way it has the overhang there. Oh, wait, what the? Wait a second. How has it been so long and I'm just now realizing? Wow. It's asymmetrical. How did I mess that up? Folks, if you're enjoying the stream, I need a drink. If you're enjoying the stream, please consider liking the stream. And if you would like to be part of the next 1,000 subscribers, please consider subscribing. Also, you'll get notified when I go live. The hard part is that I probably intended it to be like this, and just you know how sometimes you accidentally put this block in when you mean to be putting in a normal cube. I probably put this in by accident, and it is by far the better design choice. And I know it's an accident because on this one they're completely flat, so I corrected it unknowingly over here. Anyway, where's the new one? Here we go. All right, so let's just get rid of the whole platform for a minute. And let's think about the shape of the so we could potentially put some thrusters underneath here. We're not, don't worry, we're not going to bury any thrusters in here. But we could have thrusters here pointing forward underneath the bridge. So that could clear up some room if we wanted to take, let's see, that would put 3 under here. If we wanted to take 1 each off the side and maybe extend the, that's a floor block. Extend our bridge out 1 to here if we wanted to, we could do that. And then have like top, bottom, and then 3 in the front. We just get a little bit you just got notified that I'm live? Well, the bot's being a little slow today, isn't it? Alright, well anyway, we need other windows here. We're gonna need those. Gonna need those. Uh-oh, don't get tired yet. Ah, suppress the yawns. Okay. Oh, should we just do round windows? No, let's not do that. That's a joke. Oh, I did want to... A quick win we could have here is I need to replace the door. Oh, we got these doors. We could use these doors. Oh, I have not even stepped foot in one of these doors yet. Hold on, wait. Let me grab the actual door block here and see. I don't see how we could use these doors. Although I think it would be cool to have these doors open and then have, like, weapons on the other side of them, if that was a possibility. It is not, because of the floor there, but... Oh, actually, is it possible with the other one? Hang on. Oh, it is, isn't it? Marcus, thank you so much for $10.
Coolio.
I hope you get to keep the hat for a while. Oh, there we go. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, like we could have that open up, and then there's like a... Oh, that would be so cool to have a rail gun on the other side of that. And then pew, pew, pew. Or just anything on the other side of it. Oh, we could potentially, if we take out the middle turret here, we could maybe put like a... Yeah, it's rolling. We could maybe put like a weapon there fixed weapon behind it or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I'm going to leave that there as a reminder that this is a good idea and that I have not yet thought of why that's a bad idea.
Coolio.
Kaz, thank you so much for $15. I really appreciate it, guys. You don't have to go to Hat War for me, though, but I appreciate it. All right. I'm thinking... It does give you the hat, Kaz. Congratulations. All right. Well, I really like what I did on the other one of putting this here. So we're going to do that. Even if this stays as it is, as a little hat there, although I don't think I'm going to keep it as a little hat. Actually, I think it would look kind of cool. That's going to be my theme for the day. It would look kind of cool. It's quite cool. There we go. I'll do that. All right, now he's got his own little hat. Yeah, let's do... So if we did do something like this, then we could do... let's see, it's not really half blocks, though. I think we're going to go... What did I say? I said I wanted this thing to be smaller in the front, right? So one thing I'm going to do is... Oh, Keyhook's using the coins and the jewels. Thank you very much. I'm still getting used to how that works, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I still have to figure out how to make a custom sound for that whenever that happens. Hey, did I say I was going to do doors? How cool would this be if it was just like an interior door? Like this. Probably not terribly cool. Okay. Going back to the centered glass door. And then... Do I have a corridor? Yeah, I really do like the new door. Now, do I want to be able to access this cargo from the side here? Maybe. So maybe we want like a corridor X right here to be able to still get to the cargo and then go through the door here. Cool. All right, I'm still trying to decide if I want the... Well, actually, you know what we could do? We could make this a little bit more steep, and then it might have a more open feel to it instead of a... We do something like that. We also don't need to have this vent up at the top here. I feel like I've just made the front of this ship too big, because the rest of the ship is really big. Maybe we should slope the ship down a little bit. Oh, change them to cargo terminals. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. We're going to try and do these ideas as we have them, because otherwise I will forget. So yeah, let's switch to... How big are these things? They're pretty big. I might try to throw a single one of these in for the... instead of all the rest of this cargo, but for now... Cargo terminal. And then we'll do something to cover up this side. Then we got cargo terminal on each side. I like that. Maybe I'll replace one of these with like the food processor, or now we have the survival kit that is vertical like this. Maybe that would be a... oh, there's all my tools. That's lovely. Get out of here. I think this thing might be missing an antenna also, and a beacon. So something else to keep in mind there. So let's turn off that, and then let's go... Is that the right way? That's the right way. Yeah. Now, refill would be good, but I need to put a survival kit somewhere, so I figure I might as well just put it there since it fits, it's piped in, and then we'll cover up the sides of these with something. Yeah, you won't see this little hole there once we cover up the side of it with whatever we're going to do. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, normally I do pair a cargo with a recharge or refill, but I think this will be good. This will be good. Okay. Hey, back to this now. Do I want like an actual point in the front? This is the DLC survival kit. So it's like the reskin version, and it's like sideways from the normal one. Yeah. And it has a nice, actually dedicated spot, so you don't have to like try to go in through there or whatever. It's a nice little dedicated spot on the front. I really do like the reskin survival kit. I am so used to having to place it, having to figure out how to get something into the side, that I have not used it too much. But yeah, it has just top and bottom, right? Not back, not side, just top and bottom. Okay, back to this. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, and we're gonna probably have to do this a couple of times while I figure out how I want this to go. But if we start in with something, am I not on? There we go. That's gonna be too sharp of a. Or is it actually? Let me just do a bit of a. Just give me a platform to kind of meet, and then we'll chip away at the platform as needed here. Yeah, if we did this, what would the... Are you going to try for the top-mounted new ship consoles? You could make them a glass bottom. Top-mounted new ship consoles. Are we talking about these things? The bridge consoles? These things have made me feel have given me very Elite Dangerous vibes, but the more claustrophobic version of them. Oh, the hanging cockpits. I gotcha. Okay. That's a good question. In fact, that's a very good question. Yeah. Okay. What is that thing called? It's gonna be in this group here. All right. So. Or is it not? No, it's in the seats, right? Control seats. Yeah, there it is right there. I'm just going to get all the control seats here. Suspended seat. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Kaz, I think you're onto something here. So the only question I have then is, because we could just flip this whole thing upside down and have only a just like only the thing that it has to hang from would be solid, and then everything else in the front could be glass, including the bottom. How do we then, though, how do we walk to it? Would we have like a so let's get rid of this. Hold on. Would we just have like maybe like a little here, we're going to cover up this vent for just a second here. So let's say we do this, all right? All right, so let's say we've got that, right? Would we do like, right there. Something like that, and then, oops, how do I never hit that, I don't know. Maybe without the sides there, just because there we go, something like that. So we just like walk out to it, and then you're in it, and then we don't see anything, and then presumably, hopefully, when you pop out your back on the catwalk? That would be sick. Oh man, look at that. That would be a sick view. Okay. I like that. Would it be... Let's see, we can't put the catwalk all the way under it. Unless we flip the catwalk over. If I put it on a rotor, would I then have to use I'd have to use a remote control then to control the ship, right? I would have to sit in the thing and then just hit a remote control to take control of the ship. Let's try that. This is a prototype. Okay, we're prototyping now. Let's see. Let's just, because we're prototyping, so don't really care what it looks like at the moment. Oops. Just get rid of that. Still smart to not use the rotor. Rotor for cool, not for actual survival. If we did the rotor, though, I don't know. I got to think this through. I'm thinking it through. Because then when you'd almost have to hit a button to rotate yourself back around to pop back out. Okay, no rotor. Let's assume that we're gonna end up with something that's more. Where's the hate mirror mode? But actually, I love mirror mode. Don't let mirror mode hear that I said that. There we go. So maybe that's as far as we want. You can go. You're dismissed. Maybe that's as far as we want to go with the top, because then I could do. We could have the seat hanging either here or here. Might as well put it as forward. We'll put it there for now, and we could still potentially have just like a long catwalk out to it. No, let's not. Let's move it. We can always move it. It's not a big deal, but yeah, your Slave 1 was extremely cool, and I think I always wondered how in real life, how his seat went, and it just seemed like it was always oddly facing a weird direction when it was parking, and you accurately recreated the. You're looking at the interior of the ship when you're not in flight mode. But the execution of it was very good. I thought that was very cool. But yeah, I can imagine it was very janky to actually fly it. All right. Can I... let's see. We can do... No, what did I do here? There we go. We can do that. Or, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for that. So, but these, we're not gonna, we don't have another, hold on. There's only the 1x2s and the 1x1s for the pointies, right? Yeah. So what would we do for that? You don't have you've only got those. You have these. But that doesn't help either. These are not necessarily the final blocks that are going to go here that's going to hang from. I'm just trying to figure out the shape. Yeah, I need like an inverse of this kind of deal. I don't think we have it. Well, you know, we could do, actually, since we're behind the cockpit at this point, we could just use blocks. We could use... something like that, and then fill in the rest with glass around that. That'd be okay. And then cut all this out and just do the rest of this here. And then we'll figure that out there. Might as well just keep going with the pattern here since we got nothing else going on here. What? Did I remap my things wrong or something? Why are my fingers being silly? Alright, then I think we're going to end up putting like a... something there. Maybe this all needs to get pushed forward one. Or we're just going to end up taking this whole thing at the top here and just sloping it better, but one thing at a time. Oh, my computer wants to restart to do a Windows update. Yeah, let's not do that right now, please. Okay. So, this is also good because I could put, like, lights up on the ceiling and everything, too. Alright, so how does this look? Because we, you know, the other thing we could do then, if we need to, is lop this off, readjust the front, and then kind of paste it back on there, too. Alright, so let's go back to our window shapes. We've got... I feel like this should work. What am I doing wrong here? It's the wrong side, isn't it? Yeah. Very good. Now I think we're just going to kind of bring it in. Do the exact same thing here. And then... should we just go... should we come to a point with it? Probably just come to a point with it. Oh. Yeah, that looks like something, alright. Let's see. What kind of a something do we want this to actually look like, though? Because I can't... oh, yeah, I can. Hang on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alright. Why? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that would bring you to there. Right, that would be lower than the current bottom of the ship, where I wanted to put the thrusters. So we're gonna just, at this point, we're cutting the losses on that, and we're just gonna do these guys. Okay, okay. Oh my god. So I've not gotten better at rotation. I can tell you that much. You know, just move my keyboard. That's all I need to do. want it. Yeah, I want it like that. Like that. Make sure to paint the glass black so the frames disappear. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do all that at the end though. Okay, so, you know, I don't mind that like that, to be honest. Well, if that isn't the coolest looking, I mean, that's got Elite Dangerous vibes all over it, where like the cockpit is way bigger than it should be for the chair. You know, the cockpit area is way too big. We could... No, I think that's pretty much it. It does look like we could have taken it in one and not have that extra row coming out. So maybe we should do that, or should we just leave it like it is? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it like it is. I kind of like the that little lip right there. Let's see what it looks like from the inside. We need to fix this floor up sooner rather than later. All right, so we need a little bit. Now, do I want railings on this? I feel like if I put railings on it, I'm just going to get stuck on the not being able to get in and out all the time. So we're just going to... Oh, come on, it's right there. Just going to do that. And we could also do a... what do you call it? It's a scaffold. Like... We're not using those. Like that. A glass catwalk? I feel like I'd get footprints all over it. I think I kind of wish I could see out the front, out the very top. Man, you could see so much. I would like to try to minimize how much of the top here, but I don't know that I can do that because I don't think I have the windows. Run half catwalks with railings on each side? That is not occupied. We could do that. That's a good idea. Where's the other one? There we go. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Now I could fall off and fall back on. We did cover up our air vent, so we're probably going to have to move the air vent into the, like, right under here, which is actually probably a much better place for it. So let's, look at that. We've already even got the stuff right there for it. Let's throw a regular conveyor right there. And then I think I lost my vents. Vent. Do it that way so I can kind of see it. So we'll have our vent there. And then we have a vent behind there we got to get rid of. Yeah, that top piece needs to be glass too. Willis duct. Where would I put a Willis duct? Down there. So in case I fall down here, I can crawl back in. It's actually kind of a... It would be difficult because there's stuff on the other side of there. I'd have to really clear out what's over here. But really, what do we got going on? That's just for the turret on the top. Everything technically is plumbed in on the bottom. Although, if I wanted a Willis duct like on one side, you know, this is, if I kept this top plumbing, then it's still, we could clear out one of these sides. What would that, I don't even remember what the Willis duct looks like. Do we have a The Willis duct grate. Does that open and close or not? I forget. So we got... Does not, right? It's just a decorative piece. There was a mod that let it open and close, right? Alright, so we got the ramp. Yeah, I feel like I don't have a good way up if we put Willis ducts down in there. Yeah, I think we're just going to not do Willis ducts. I don't think we need to hide the vent, though, behind a Willis duct on this one. I think it's fine right there. Unless it looks weird from the outside. Let's see if it looks weird from the outside. Colin, we are revamping my original Space Engineers ship, which originally looked like one of these guys. So we are rebuilding it to look cooler. And we are having moderate success so far. You know what? Actually, I think I do want to maybe try that. Let's try that. And Colin, welcome to the stream. I didn't officially say welcome, but you are, of course, welcome. So, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's put the... Since you're not going to see it, I think the original vent actually looks better behind a Willis duct. Where are you here? There we go. And then, let's see. Duct. What do we got here? So we got duct. What's the difference between a duct and a duct 2? Ah, I see. Better like this, better like this, or like this. I assume that still works. I probably want to move the lights, though, right? Use duct 2. I like the venting on the duct 2 on the top there. So I'm wondering if I should do it like this and then flip the vent over, or keep it like this. Let's keep it like that. What do you mean I'd need the vent somewhere else? Is this not what we're talking about? Doing that? You have the air push into the tunnel and out the vent. Oh. You have the vent, so you do like a... Like you have the air push into the tunnel. Oh, so you're saying put the vent like way... Actually, if the whole reason there's a vent in here is because the doors close and then it's sealed off from the rest. And so I was going to say, actually, maybe we don't even need a vent. Maybe we just duct it so that it's just a single unified room, essentially. Now I'm wondering if I want to do that or if it's better to have this as like a, you know, in case one side decompresses, the other side is still good. There's not an airlock here, so if one side decompresses, we're just out of luck. So we could theoretically have that as a somehow, not entirely sure how we would, but if we allowed air to go down into there, this would just be like a single room, and then I just have to vent in the back here somewhere, which I think there was already a vent somewhere. Oh, you know what? I think right here, if I recall, was the sloped vent, the modded sloped vent. Just remembered that. I miss that modded sloped vent. I wish they'd make that, wish they would make that vanilla. So if we did want to have that, I would need some sort of a... Like, we could still take out a cargo container and have, like, a... something. It would also... I mean, it would also mean if I could have a... if I did do it like that, then I could at least... I could also have, like, a... like, an actual Willis duct where, like, if I fell down here, I could Willis duct my way back to the other side of the thing if I, for some reason, ran out of jetpack and, you know, fell down out of the seat or something. Hey, Leroy. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, okay, so I'm kind of liking this idea, and I would like to experiment with it. So, what if we... Oh, what were you? What did I have in there? A lot of uranium and more ice than I could probably carry, but I guess I can carry it. Let's just put you in there for now. Okay, so this is our vent, I believe. And there's our Willis duct. So, we actually turn this... let's see, yeah, because we would need it to be like a... probably like a ramp. And then we would need a corner. Then another corner. And then what? How do we get back out of here? You made 7 million on the server tonight. That's awesome. Job well done. Now, as I recall, though, there is no good way to go, like, up one. Right? Like, you can transition between up and down, but there's no, like, hey, here's how you get out of there. So I think we'd have to do a... We would just have to kind of have the floor do this. Right? Essentially. Oh, is that even two? That's two. Yeah, that's not, that doesn't work either, huh? How do people get in and out of these things? Thanks for hanging out, Game Dork. Good luck at work. Is the better thing to do to just keep it upside down like this and then just have like a full-on... So we could go... My mentality right now is that nothing is off limits in terms of like experimentation. So if we did, I kind of don't want the 2 there. There we go. So if we did that, and then I mean, we could even do like stairs right there or something if we wanted to, right? I think I'm just going to do like a... something like that for now. So like, if we needed to, we could hide this behind something too if we needed to. Or put a little door. I don't really like, but I don't like where I'm going with this, but at least now it's like we can get through here and it's like a... We can get in and out of here if we fall down, basically. Thank you very much, Leroy. Appreciate it. Sneak through, up here, and now we're up here. I'm gonna have to sleep on that one. I don't know. Let's go back to working on how the I don't know. I like it as a concept, but I don't really like the thing there. I mean, we could, if we wanted to, we could just put the vent block right here then, and it could just blow around the corner. That would work too, you know. I'll think about this. It would actually fit really well right there because we have the connection right there already. And then it could just blow around the corner. Maybe that's better. Maybe that's a better way to go. Okay, let's not worry about it for now. We'll think about it. I want to fix this roof thing. I want to fix this roof thing. So, if I make this a piece of glass, then there's nothing to attach the chair to. That's the main problem. And there's no half glassing it. We have to go full glass on this. We don't have any sort of... There's no other 2x1 window that I'm aware of. Slope. So I'm going to take another drink of water while we all think about this predicament here. And if you wouldn't mind liking the video if you have not already liked the video, and if you would like to subscribe, you will get notified when I go live, eventually, supposedly. Thank you, everybody. The new viewports. We don't have... Oh, there is a viewport tip. Is that going to be better or not? That's a good question. These guys have a group? Or not? Is there no group for these guys? What pack are they in? They're in... Do they not have their own group? Oh, there it is. Okay. I guess these guys are not in a group, are they? Or they are in some other... They're in the one... Oh. Okay. These things? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's put you there. So if we did... that could potentially help. Let's just put the front one on for a second there, because that's the block that's the problem, and I wish we just had like a half slope window tip. But if that's good, we might be able to also just do the other one right there. What does the other one look like? There's two of them, right? There's an inverted. Okay, so we've got... Okay, so I feel like that would be the... Oh, do I have auto? Oh, I got auto. That was probably throwing me off there, the auto rotate. Alright, so we've got this one, which has it toward the bottom. I guess we'd have to see, or I guess top, front? Does this thing connect like right in the center there? Yeah, so it would cover the viewport. No matter what. We should use a lot of these on the, or not a lot of these, but we should have some of these on the interior somewhere. So I could see out of this place a little bit better. Like, why don't we have anything on, like these walls are so barren. Anyway. I mean, it adds, it breaks it up a little bit, but you definitely can't see out of it. Now, I am wondering what would happen if we did put the one where it's near the front. Is that this? Like this, and then hung the chair from it. Oh, I think we might be okay there. Yeah, actually, look at that. Perfect. I mean, it's not the best, but it definitely looks a little bit better, right? Why not? Put the seat on a piston? We talked about putting the seat on a rotor so that it could turn around. And as we talked through it, we've come to the conclusion that since you'd have to activate like a a remote control to control the ship then, and then you lose like the third-person view and everything, that's probably not the best idea to have your control seat be on a subgrid. But I was willing to try it. So this is actually not a bad solution. It's not the best, but it breaks up the view a little bit, and it still lets you look up. You know, like that's kind of useless right there, but it gives it, there's like detail on the ceiling and everything. I think it's a decent compromise. Yeah. Decent compromise. All right. What time is it? Okay, cool. Okay, put the 2x1 angled glass above the chair.
Hello there.
Then put a Zyos 9 and 3 underscores. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Hopefully I said your name correctly. Could you put the 2x1 angled glass above the chair, then put a half block under the glass, attach that back wall, and then put your hanging chair off the half block. Sorry, I'm saying it slowly because I'm trying to visualize it as we go. So I think what would happen, the problem there is that the chair would then be, because what would happen is we'd have the slope of the glass would take up the exact same space as these blocks here. So the half block then would have to come out here, which would mean the chair would be down here, which technically does fit. Like the chair could hang way down here, but I think this is much cooler. But yeah, I was trying to think of that too. I was trying to think about how we could keep the glass up there and then somehow still attach this here. It's like the chair. Can the chair be attached on the back? Because we could put like just a plate. Oh no, we can't if we also have the catwalk there. Yeah. No, I think this is the best solution. Can we move the chair forward and have more catwalk? Yeah, technically we could. I was also thinking about if it would make sense to just slide the whole thing back. Like, do we need this entire layer right here? You know, if we slide the entire thing back, it's like the exact same shape hitting the wall. And I think actually maybe that's the better solution to this, is that we put, we do put this on the front one, turn this back into a normal, okay, all right. Yeah, the whole control hanging on a neon tube. That's a country song right there, I feel. But, yeah, entire world hanging on a neon light. Okay, we're gonna do a thing. Just trust me on this one for a second. Okay, all right. Okay. Should have turned on the mirror mode for this. Yeah. Well, I was expecting an earth-shattering kaboom. Yeah, okay, fine. Oh yeah, that vent. We should get rid of that vent. Hang on. Yoink. And yoink, just so I remember. There we go. Just so I remember I got to do something with that. But also I needed to put a block there. Okay. Oh no, don't tell me I can't do this because the... Oh man. Maybe that is why we needed that there. I can't do that with the... Okay, let me just do that for a second. Am I in the way? I'm in the way. Who's in the way? This was great. There we go. Okay, so if we did that... Yes, it's a little bit smaller. But... Now... we can do that. And I feel like I should still be able to get the... oh yeah, that guy's in the way. Okay. So our catwalk has to be this. But now look at that. I think this is a fair compromise that we might fall off the side here. I think it's a fair compromise. Especially since if I fall down, I could just go in the Willis duct. Oh yeah, there is another chair, isn't there? Yeah, why aren't we just using that one? That one's much better. There we go. Yeah, now we got that. Kind of actually blocks just the leftover bit of the ceiling anyway, so cool. Cool. We don't have a third one of those, right? Just making sure. But yeah, now we got that, and we still have a nice little sunroof right there. What do we think of this? Better or worse than before? I kind of like I wanted it to be nice and cozy. And I feel like this is as cozy as you can get and still, you know, do stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to cut that out and we're going to put a vent. Oh, did I just cut on both sides? I did. Okay. Hold on. I want to put a vent like that, and then that will, oops, excuse me. I don't know if I can't really tell how the air is, but that, now we have venting in here. Okay. So I'm good with that. We'll cover that up. We'll probably take out all the armor blocks that's on the floor here. There's armor all over the floor, as well as interior blocks. We'll take those out and put... Actually, I bet you, now that I think about it, I bet you a lot of those are armor blocks because they're shaping on the outside. I can't tell, though. So, yeah, well, that's good. And then, what did we have in here? Oh my. Boy, I was really expecting to crash a lot with 120 parachutes, huh? Can I build a Star Trek ship that you can build on a Keen server? I don't think I could build a Star Trek ship that you could play on your own server. Because I don't think I could build a Star Trek ship. I'm not as good with the rounded... I'm gonna put... What was the... Cargo? Cargo? I don't know. We'll figure that out. That had to connect into there. And this had to connect into there. I'm just trying to wire this back up so I don't forget about it later. Okay, then that's piped in. That's all. Okay, we got to take care of that later. That might actually... That's a parachute on top of that, I think, so we can get rid of that. That's where the turret was going to go, so we can get rid of that. So we could actually get rid of... parachute. I'm going to need to make like a... There we go. That's where I'm going to store the leftover stuff that I find inside of here. What else? That was it, right? Okay. So we don't need... I'm taking some lights out here too. So we don't need that up there. This is now conveyored through the bottom. So I think the parachutes were the only things that were... Like this all goes up because there's stuff in the ceiling here, and that's fine. This was kind of like... I might want to segment the ship a little bit better too. Like, instead of having like this open floor plan deal, that we try to shove a little bit more of the... of all of this stuff into the back here, and maybe segment this off a little bit. We could even put like a big gate, you know, like the engineering gate. Maybe not the big one, one of the little ones or something like that. We'll take that out, because we'll put a bed or something. Basically, if we move this back, this O2 gen, we move that back. Maybe you have two of them, because we're probably going to need a lot of hydrogen in this ship. We move that back. This is way more reactors than we need to. I don't think we'll ever need this many reactors. So maybe we'll take a reactor out on each side. We'll keep 2 reactors, and actually, they are piped into the floor. We got to get rid of all these junctions. So we'll have 2 spare reactors, basically. We'll have 2 O2 gens. We'll move them back. What else would we need in engineering? I did want to have like a small refinery and a small assembler, just for emergencies. And if we need to deal with larger, more complicated stuff, we'd have to go to a trade station, essentially, or we'd have to go to a base that I own or something like that. But at least we'd have something on board. I got the survival kit too, but we'd be able to do a little bit in emergencies. And we could probably put that right up in the middle here, or something like that. So let's take you out. Oh, God. Would anybody else like to give me their contents? I know we have... Just everybody give me your stuff. Parachute, parachute, parachute. Okay, let's go get this all out of here. I am probably going to want to run at least one programmable block on here. Yeah. Timmy, yeah. As far as cargo goes, I was actually thinking, because if we go and look at the original, go back to the original Jazzy Jeff over here. So this is cozy, man. Just nothing but tubes and junctions everywhere. That's the life here. But anyway, if we were to go, I don't have a toilet on the new one. Where do I go? Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Anyway, right here is the hall of cargo containers as you approach the cockpit, which is nice and also nice and kind of roomy. But yeah, the hall of cargo containers, which I liked as an aesthetic back then, because I was like, yeah, I would have them all sorted, and I'd be like, let's see, underwear's up there, and ammo is down here, and whatever, grinders are over here, and steel plates are over here, whatever. And for some reason, I put one conveyor here because I was like, we've already got 10 cargoes. 11 would be ridiculous. So that's why this one's a conveyor junction. The idea with this one is that I would want that cargo all in the floor. I already like how pointy that is. I hope you guys can't hear my 3D printer. It was just making a very loud noise. I'm done? Oh, it's done. Sweet. I'm 3D printing knee joints for my daughter is trying to make a costume for Ren Fair that is a centaur for herself. So she's used PVC pipe to create the horse end of the centaur that'll attach to her hips, and then legs that are attached to her real legs so that they move along with her, but they're crisscrossed so they alternate with her real legs. Anyway, I'm 3D printing joints for the pipes, and we're testing some prototypes. So I imagine it will be very cool when it's done. She's pretty good at this. Anyway, what I was saying was, yes, the idea is that we would just sink the cargo would just be in the floor for the most part, and we wouldn't have to have it be up all over the place. Now, the reason that the inside is so like angular like this is because these should be, if I recall, yeah, these are actually light armor slopes. And so they have to be this way because the outside is the way that it is. But we, like I said, we could, and I was trying to think about this, take the ship and basically make it like one block wider, so that instead of having this one central column, we have a little bit more space to work with, which is why I kind of wanted to start fresh. But I like where we're at right now. I don't like this like earmuffs kind of look that it has. Let me get rid of this. This was supposed to catch the... That was supposed to catch the cockpit when it fell, but it didn't fall. Yeah, we have to think through more of this. But especially if I want to have like some sort of a stationary weapon behind these doors, then we'd have to extend this out a bit. So yeah, I think we're going to end up probably slicing away. Let's take these. Let's get all this off of here. Let's get all these solar panels off. Up here, I just took out a corner I didn't need. Everything is a station. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. We're gonna have to redo the back of this too. I don't hate it, but it is very a square for the most part. I think it'll look. Oh, I think this will look very cool on the back with the brand new hydrogen thrusters. I think those are going to be very good. All right. So maybe this part won't look so bad once the rest of the ship is kind of expanded out a little bit. Yeah. I think we're just going to have to, this whole harness situation. And also these end pieces are not actually attached to the ship anymore. Are they? These are just floating in space now. Okay. Let's see. What do I... Yeah, I kind of want to strip out all the other thrusters and see how we want to do these walls. I do like the idea of trying to figure out this back room first. We can get rid of all these. We can get rid of this button panel. I don't know what I just accidentally took out of there. It's probably just that. I don't know. So we've got... okay. You're a junction, but you don't need to be. Let's take this out of here. So, one thing we could do is, assuming that we are okay walking on this side, which I am, we could, that means we don't have to have an extra layer underneath, but we are going to keep it because reinforced P junction. Now, we don't have normal or X junctions for like right here. So this is probably going to end up being, I don't know, something's going to cover that. I don't know what. Like if we do a normal junction here. Or a conveyor, or a cargo rather. I actually feel like this thing probably has enough cargo sitting around it, but let's throw a cargo in right here. There we go. Bulk cargo, bulk. Cargo terminal. Small cargo. And then I think I'm just going to replace everything with reinforced conveyor now. Everything that can be replaced with it. So that later on, if we need to just cut one out and put something else there, that's fine. And then I know where we can run stuff to and where we can't. So we don't need this to be a... That still needs to be a junction. I'm trying to think of how I want to... Okay, because what we could do right here is... that has to be a junction. I think this one has to be a... Oh no, we were going to take out 2 of these. So that does not have to be a junction. That doesn't... that doesn't have to be a junction. But also I don't want to use that type of... Yeah, I probably do need more hydrogen, but I'm also like... the hydrogen thrusters are for augmenting the other thrusters. So, in general, I'm only using the hydrogen to break atmosphere. So, in that sense, I think this is probably fine, although I've eaten those words before. We're going to make this another cargo. And then I think I'm going to make these cargoes, and then that's going to be it for cargo. No more cargo on this vessel. Have a good night, Kaz. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the super chat earlier. Appreciate it. We want these reactors because they're cool. Oh, wait, but they don't have... oh, yeah, they do. There we go, like that. Now, do I want... Ooh, do I want to keep the port accessible, though? If so, I might want to use the old reactors. It's not going to really be accessible anyway. Let's do... What's behind there? Battery? Got a lot of batteries. I like that. This thing is very, very well battery powered. Thanks for hanging out, Colin. Appreciate it. Do I want to use warfare batteries? I'm really in a... I'm really in a DLC mood today. You know? So here, we're going to take these out. Oh, I took out something else. What did I take out here? Probably just an armor block. Alright. Then we got a hole up here. I guess I didn't need to put anything in there. Oh, and we have even more gyros back there. I didn't even realize. This thing's got a lot of gyros, which is good because it does get kind of heavy. So what I want to do is use warfare batteries because they look cooler. But basically put them exactly where the old batteries were. So battery, battery, battery. Battery, battery, battery. Battery. And then did we come out? Come out one? I think we did. Let's just go out one. Maybe we'll take that one away later. Except we did... Oh, no, we didn't. Not there. It was there. I think we came out one. Which is okay. All right, so we're going to have... Let's see. This way or this way? coming in, probably seeing it that way. So let's do that. All right, then we need to run our conveyor. I love how big and empty this room is right now, because that just is just a lot of potential here. Oh, how am I going to do... Oh. Why don't we... Get rid of you for a second. Why don't we do this like this and this like that instead? And then we don't need to have... like a split and then another split. And we could put those gyros back there. That's no big deal. Put the gyros back. And then what's going on here is we're going to do a... Oh, all right, there we go. A T right there to get into the hydrogen. And then a basic refinery and a basic assembler. And I'm going to do this like this. Without, I guess I'm going to fall down a bit. But like that or like that? I think like that. So it's going to go there, and then our refinery is going to go there. So I think that's how that's going to go. We have way too much oxygen storage, which is fine. But that will cover that, and it plugs up those. We got to take some of these lights out. This is way too many lights. This was before I realized that you could expand. I think this was before I realized you could expand the radius, yeah. So I'm just like, lights everywhere. Which, we'll fix that later. What do I want? Do I want to put something on the end caps of this? Is there anything else I need? I mean, I guess we could have put the reactors up there, and then we wouldn't even have to go out from here at all. We wouldn't need these cargo containers. But I think these tanks are already pretty big, or like they stick out pretty far. I want to say this gravity is roughly centered on the ship, but it could be further forward since we don't really we don't ever walk all the way to the back. It would be nice to hide that somewhere too. But all right, so if we did take this out. Let's take this out. All right, let's just do armor everywhere for a minute here. I know this is going to look worse when we have an actual interior, but oh man, we really cleaned the place up, huh? Oh, this is nice. So if we did like a gate, okay, stop with the. Oh man, a gate is like the perfect size for this thing. I was thinking about doing a small gate, one of these, but that is the wrong size. This is also the wrong size, and surprisingly, the giant gate fits perfectly. Go back into engineering here. We even got room for programmable blocks and maybe some screens or something. I don't know. Put some lights back here. Bigger. Oh, actually, we got lights. Those will work. Yeah, we actually still have some empty space back here, which is nice. So we'll throw our programmable blocks. We might want to throw in some event controllers too. For docking, undocking, stuff like that. And we could, because this thing has 3 connectors. It has one under each airlock, which we're going to put the new kind of connectors on it. Probably, at least at least on the bottom one. And actually down here we're supposed to have... Did I get rid of the vent? I think I did. Let's do one of these. Supposed to have one of these. Oh, I took that out because I didn't realize we needed it there. Where? Oh, I probably took... where is this thing on a... Oh, neither one of those is connected to anything. All right, so pop those out. Gonna put that there, and then a... I think I've got a connector on here, don't I? Yeah. Put a inset connector on here. Oh, that's actually a good idea, because then I could have the connector connect to the vent. And now I depressurize on to fill my stuff. Now I just need to connect one of those two, and the rest, the other one will be good. So where was that? That was right here. What are we going to do for that, though? I feel like we should probably throw a cargo on top of it. This one is on top of the door. Part of me says that's an opportunity, but I don't see the opportunity. Because if we did a, like a T-junction... Come on. Oh, actually, no, that's perfect. It's literally perfect. So we could put our T-junction there, like that, and then go back and do a normal reinforced tube right here. Now, I could actually, if I wanted to, if I didn't want to see these all the time, I could rotate these all sideways. In fact, maybe I will go back and do that at the very end. And then we won't see the conveyors at all. I'm going to keep it like this for now because that way I know where they're going. But, yeah. Now I'm thinking, should I use some of the... No, I'm going to stick with these. I was thinking, should I use some of the curved ones, the round ones for things, but we're using a lot going on already. I like this. I like it. It's kind of like a little bit of old school touch. So yeah, so then we got the engineering door. Man, that worked out really good. So we could come up here and yep, that's not great. Are these... Is this a middle? Oh, it's a middle one. Ah, I see. So you're out. You're out. Oh, okay. So we'll just segment that off like that, and then go figure out what I goofed up on the rooftop. Goofed up on the rooftop. What? Nothing. I didn't goof anything up. Just whatever I did, you can't see from the outside. Okay. One thing of note is we don't need all these parachutes anymore. So what are these connecting into that we don't need anymore? I'm going to take out... There's a conveyor there. I'm going to just take out each conveyor just to see if... Okay, and then... Oh, that's running back to the thrusters at the back, I believe. So, let me just poke my head back in here. Yeah, that is purely... That is pure conveyor there. Let's make it armored conveyor, though. Reinforced conveyor, just to have a little bit more... Is that a jump drive? Does this ship have a jump drive? How did I cram that in there? That is a jump drive, right? It is. How did I cram a jump drive in here? Makes sense, though. Did I cram 2 jump drives in here? There's 2 jump drives on. Where am I? Where am I in the ship right now? Hang on. There's like a TARDIS ship. So engineering is like here. And then there's like 2 jump drives in the back. Dang, I didn't even realize. Good job, past Duke. That was awesome. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's do a... Reinforced one there. And then what have we got going on here? This is the top of the... That's got to be the top of the hydrogen tank. And that's... There's a conveyor there. I don't know why. Is that also just for stabilization? Because if it is, we could just replace this whole line with... Yeah, I think it is. We could just replace those with periodic armored ones just for them having something to grab onto. So that's fine there. And then, is this just floating here now? It's just floating here now. Okay. So that's my basic assembler and refinery. So I think I do need to put a junction back here, which is fine. Let's just put it the correct direction there. And then we don't need to reconnect into the top of the hydrogen because we're already in the front of the hydrogen. But we could. There's no reason we can't. Yeah, so why don't we do that? We'll go normal conveyor there, conveyor, and then just right here we'll do a reinforced T. Alright, now I got a little redundancy there. Okay, so that's that. That needs to be there. That's connected, that's connected. So basically, we got rid of our parachutes we don't need anymore. And then we're gonna take off this top layer and everything here. Yeah, that's the main line to the hydrogen thrust. I am pretty sure. Let's pop this off and see. Yeah. So we've got our jump drive here, and then that's how the hydrogen thrust comes in. What's on the other... Could we get redundant lines going? Like, how do we... I'm going to take these jump drives out. Oh, look at these. These are like in their own little room here. So what's, what do we got going on here? We could... Can't see anything. There we go, look at that. So we've got that there. We could go, I know I've disconnected my, actually I should be on mirror mode for this and have a UI. But yeah, we should get some redundant power going here, or you know what I mean. So we bring this along the side here and hook into there. Then I could put those gyroscopes back. Those were just sitting there. Yeah, so now we've got hydrogen going there and hydrogen coming up through here to there. So now we've got 3 redundant hydrogen flows. That's a good point. Yeah, this should become we should use this area for something. This side wall here. In fact, I don't see any oh, you know, the reason actually for this being walled off is probably because of air tightness. Is my guess. So we could still put batteries back here. That's not a problem. I don't think these need to be all junctions, but it probably helps. So the thing is, we're gonna redo this entire back of the ship. So I'm not really worried about running the lines and everything yet. It's nice to have the lines running to it now, but I'm not really worried about it because we're gonna tear all this out, redo this, make it look a little bit different. I think I want to get rid of the ribs and the fins, you know? Make this look maybe a little bit more connected in. Seems I did pop some blocks out of one side there. Let's make this symmetrical again, just so that I don't go crazy later. That's not the right block for you. There we go. All right. Yeah, well, this whole like spine running across, because obviously if you look at the original Jazzy Jeff, the whole thing was just the tube. Like it's just this shape there. And then I just wanted to add some kind of structure to it, so we did this like big spine thing, which is not the worst design decision. It's just I think I could make that look a little bit smoother now with the rest of the ship, especially if we extend the whole ship to be a block wider, or at least the roof. Maybe not this, but maybe we just take this whole roof section and push it out one, so that we're going like up and over. That makes sense, you know. In fact, let me just kind of demonstrate here, because I don't think it's a big deal if I do it right here. Oh, there's a beacon. Nice. I probably should have known that, because it says Jazzy Jeff all over the screen. We do need to do an antenna instead of a beacon, though. I like taking this ship apart and finding all the fun little bits, you know. But anyway, what I'm talking about is like, maybe we do this instead. Yeah, blend this all in the front here. Actually, I'll just do that right now. Yeah, so like we get real thin in the neck, and then come back out, and it's like that because that's where the thrusters are. But I hope I'm not going to lose the front half of the ship by doing this. But anyway, you guys get the idea. You know, whatever the shape turns out to be here for this. I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around with it. We'll have to figure out how to reshape that better. But I think the inside will benefit from having that extra ceiling space. You know what I mean? We could do something up in the corners there. I don't know. Some crown molding or something. But doing that across the whole ship and expanding that out like that, I think will help. We'll be able to push the thrusters out a little bit more. Give us a little bit more breathing room. I do want some upwards facing, probably flatmos, and then I'm almost positive I want to replace these big old things with big flatmos, and then we can kind of streamline the rest of this a little bit. So I think we've done a pretty incredible job so far at making this look good, and we're probably gonna take this whole thing off of here like this. Take this out, take that out, because that's only there to hide that beacon. Sorry, I wasn't looking. Oh, you're just saying, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So this whole front, we're going to want to rebuild so it's a little bit better, and then we'll figure out how to make this all flow in together in a way where I can still get some additional thrusters here. I mean, at this point, what was this? This was an atmospheric. Like, we could just put flatmos on the top and flatmos on the bottom. Like, this doesn't have to... It originally, because of the design of them, it had to, like, pass through, you know what I mean? Like all of my... I guess I don't have any more. I took them off. But all of my atmospherics, you know, how there's, like, the central block and then the top and the bottom. And I was always trying to make sure that those had, you know, they're connected in the center and then the top and the bottom stuck out. But now we could just stick a flatmo there, stick a flatmo on the other side, and we're good to go. We don't need to do any of that. So, like, this whole concept of having it, like it having to... Here, let's just do a thing here like this. Let's go. If we're thinking of running like a weapon behind here, this is how we'd have to do this, right? Something like that, right? And then we have our weapon running behind here, and we'd have to run. Luckily, we've got all this conveyor already running over to that area. Yeah, we could put our weapon there. What weapon would we put there? That's a good question. Should put some vivariums on there, I realize now. Don't let me forget to put, maybe like right here or something, some algae farms. We'll think about it. We'll figure it out. I'm probably going to need to run... maybe they'll be at the back here, actually, just because there's more conveyor in the ceiling back here. But, yes, we're going to look at weapons. Let's see. So we've got artillery. Is railgun and artillery the only fixed? Large grid fixed? I guess it is, huh? Aside from rocket launcher. Well, railgun's not gonna fit, I don't think. Let's do a little double check in here. I don't want... Rockets would be cool, but I'm a little nervous about the rockets hitting the door. Although they're nice and... It's a nice and compact looking launcher. Will a railgun shoot through there? I guess we're going to find out. Because I don't think I could fit a railgun. I can't fit a railgun in there unless I took out my doors. So I guess the only option is either rocket launcher or artillery. But artillery looks like it would work just fine. Rocket launcher probably also works just fine. I really like the idea of these doors being the thing that opens that you can then shoot through. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why I would ever fire artillery out the sides of the ship. So, as much as I like these doors like this, and as much as I like the concept of using these doors to hide the weapons, I can't move it. I can't move it forward one block. Assuming you mean the move the weapon forward one block, I can't. That's as close as it can get. Unless you mean move this forward one block so that it sticks forward one. Meaning, like, just take both of these and move them forward by one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the... Because it can't be inside the door. You know, it has to be right there, and that's as close as it can get, so... Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a... Is this just a cool factor? Or is there a reason why I would ever fire a fixed artillery out the sides of the ship? You know? Am I attacking a pirate base from far away? You know? What's my motivation to do this? Because it kind of breaks up... Well, you know what? What else was I going to put in this space anyway, I guess is the question. So, why not leave it there? Why not leave it there? And then we're probably going to take this. I don't want to do it yet because I think the ship will fall apart, but we'll take this out probably to here and just make this match all the way across, and then we could do some greebling on it. But that way we can get a conveyor out to here. because all of my conveyors are at this level anyway. So if we do that, or we could turn it sideways, and then the conveyors could just go right into the side here. Actually, we don't even have to turn it sideways. There's conveyors on the side. And then we would just cover up the bottom. Yeah, we'd junction off and just kind of go into the side there. That would work, I think. Then we have a reason for this to still be like a thinner corridor, and then it can kind of open up back here, and we could do something like maybe like this could be like beds and more like living quarters, vivarium bed, stuff like that. And then this would be I don't know, kitchen. Maybe we'll put some chairs in here or something like that. You know, I want this to be more of like a communal area, even though it's like a one-bedroom, you know, studio apartment kind of deal. But the good news is we could actually, like, if we do this, and then we ran, and then we like split off of here to here, we could do. Oh, what could we do? I mean, I could put a cryo chamber with a port on the back there. Right, like we've got, let's see, this one has it. So like we could do that, and then that is our connection to it. This would also do it. The inset cryo would also do it. I could have just two of them. Then we would just have to run under the floor up in there, and that also loads our weapons. What other potential things could we put there if we wanted to have two? You know, if we wanted to have not two cryo chambers, what's something else that would have a... I mean, I could just do another cargo access like this if I wanted. Maybe we'll just keep it with two cryos in case I have a friend. Something like that. They don't even need a bed. We'll just sleep in the cryos. And now I'm thinking this area is going to need sunroof. We need more windows up in the ceilings here. You know? Yeah, that cryo has one on the bottom and one on the back. Let me show you. There you go. So it's like that. It's got bottom, back. The original one only has it on the back. And then the new lab vat has it on three sides. So lab vat would also work, but I have a... If I'm not being a lab experiment, I have a weird thing about sleeping in my spacesuit in water. So I would prefer to do the inset cryo. Oh, you know what? I know what we could do instead. With the one thing we almost forgot that we needed. Food processor. Does that have... That would do it too, right? Let's see, which side? This one. Right? Yes. Yoink. There we go. Food processor on this side. Cryo on the other side. We'll cover that up with something. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So that'll be that. Then this here right in front of the door, we could maybe do something... Actually, hang on. What if we did... Trying to think of a better... Oh, that's fun. There's a hole there. That's okay. Trying to think of... Oh, and there's a hole. Yeah, we're gonna change that. I was trying to think of like what would be a good top of the... You know, like what could we do up here that's more interesting than... I don't know that there is a better, now that I think about it. Is there not a full block version? No, there's not. Huh? I could do something like that. Doesn't really help. Or we could go back to these type of guys. Or the original, these type of guys. So I don't really want to see that right there. So I wanted to kind of, I don't know, maybe we could just do some sort of decorative interior wall block up there instead. I think I've got those sitting around somewhere, don't I? Maybe this isn't something I need to worry about right now, but we could do pipes. Everybody loves pipes. Or where's that other one? It's on the back of... Oh, we could do this. Maybe. Or... Yeah, why don't we do something like this? Then throw in that one in between. Something like that. And we'll fix that hole in the ceiling at some point. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I might change my mind later on that. Maybe we'll do pipes instead or something. I don't know. But how big is that new antenna? It is like the same, roughly the same size as the beacon, right? Or is it bigger? It's bigger than the beacon. Yeah. Okay. So the antenna probably should be on the outside anyway. But now that this antenna, we're going to be ending in a second here, Toshira. Anyway, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I was so many design decisions were around trying to fit this beacon in somewhere because I couldn't fit, like you could see how I did the antenna on the original. I didn't like it. I hate this antenna so much. Especially since the small grid one was so tiny. You know, why did this one have to be so big? So I lost my ship. There it is. So I think we can very easily fit the new compact antenna in there. In fact, we're just going to get rid of that right now. So, I mean, we could put that up in the ceiling. Why wasn't that up in the ceiling? It doesn't matter. We've got room to be able to maneuver around some stuff now up in the ceiling. So I think this area is going to get some nice skylighting. And we will smooth these two pieces together here in the next episode of Stellar Garage. So, let's see. So tomorrow, Pat and I are going to be back playing Elder Scrolls Online. We're not going to be doing that every Friday. It'll be, I don't know, maybe every other Friday or something like that. So I'm basically going to take like every other Friday off kind of a deal, but we were kind of itching for some more Elder Scrolls. So, Elder Scrolls tomorrow at 9:30 my time. It's just check the channel. It shows you in your own time. Sunday, I was going to do Titan on Sunday, but I really want to finish. I want to work on this more. So I think we're just going to keep on going with the 1,000 subscriber celebration on Sunday and do more of working on the Jazzy Jeff Mark III. Because I think it's coming along pretty good. I'm actually thinking maybe we move this one to here. Give us a bit more room on the side here. You know, we could even move our door back a little bit or something. How far back is the door right now? Yeah, we can move the door to like right here or something like that. Anyway, that'll be a decision for Sunday. So, again, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I honestly hadn't considered this day coming. And for some reason, I'd been saying that I've been doing this for 4 years, but I actually went and looked, and I've been doing this for 3.5 years. And I don't know. I just didn't think that this was. I just figured I'd eventually just get bored of this and stop long before I ever got to a K in the number. So we'll see how far we go. We'll just keep on going until I actually do get bored of this whole endeavor, which doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon. So again, thank you all. If you haven't, oops, hang on. Let me look back down here. There we go. If you have not liked the video, please consider liking the video. If you would like to subscribe, number go up, that would be great. And you will get notified when I go live, which will be tomorrow. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you next time.